All right, so let's get into this solo for Hard to Say Goodbye. Once again, this is a song I capoed on too, mainly because of the singer's range and the high note. When you write a song, it's always good to have try and peek out on the chorus what the singer's high note is, so it sounds like they're really feeling it and digging in. So that's why the song, even though I wrote it without a capo, gets moved up. But then usually when it comes time to track a solo in the studio, it's like the capo goes away, right? Because there's not a lot of point in that. You can see in the playthrough, the capo is still on, so I just kind of adjusted. The song's in 4/4 time. I think it's just over the course of a bar. So I'm coming down. So all that is clearly right out of the F sharp blues scale, F sharp minor, right? Those that don't know the blues scale, it's just adding in that note. So okay, that's all it's to that. And obviously I adjusted with the capo quite a bit there. Now there's, once again, a legato run I fall back on a lot with this 3 notes of string. I'm picking the middle note of a 3-note pattern in F sharp minor. I'm going to go. So I'm just climbing with that, okay? And that takes me right up to there, okay? Right up the F sharp minor scale. You see that? So we have so far. So there I got to get a 1.5 bend because I'm going from F and F sharp trying to make it sound like A. So that might be the most challenging part, to come out of a run and have the proper money notes, okay? And that's right out of the 5th box of the pentatonic scale. Out of F sharp minor. And then, of course, this one everybody knows. Box 1 of F sharp minor pentatonic. Right? That's straight out of like Rock 101 there, but nothing wrong with that. I love that stuff. Okay, so far. Now what I'm going to do is end with an F sharp minor 7 arpeggio. So I'm thinking about. It's basically the lick. It's one of the rare times I sweep. I'm not a big sweep guy. But I'm going to come down from the G to the E. And there, again, is my legato pattern, right? If I go. And you can see that last one, if you look closely, I'm plugging with my middle finger, and that's just out of habit. And I took classical lessons for a long time before I played rock guitar. So I just instinctually do that stuff. Doesn't mean you have to do it. There's other ways to articulate this stuff. But I'm sweeping. And just getting a bend out. So here it is. And there you go. That's the main solo to Hard to Say Goodbye. Now, let's take a look at the outro solo really quickly for Hard to Say Goodbye. We're going to come straight out of the riff with a couple of ghost bends. Those that haven't done ghost bends, you're up already. So I love to do these and cut them off and have like. So I'm picking those with the middle finger on my right hand, okay? To be able to, I'm cutting it off with it too, if you hear that. So kind of like letting it fall a bit each time. So turning a pitch. And then just a half bend. I think in the play along I played that here. with the capo being on 2, it felt a little more comfortable for me to play the half bend on 9. Okay, so now just straight out a kind of standard F sharp minor pentatonic chord. Okay, so a little like, you know, just a little drop of the full bend. So going for the soul, and everybody, you know, try for the wide vibrato. Try to avoid the marital aid vibrato, I call it. Or worse yet, the dead fish, where there's nothing there. So. Okay, so from the top of the outro solo. Now, a lick straight out of my initial lesson with Guitar World Magazine, the Monster Pentatonic lesson, if anybody's watched that. I literally climbed the exact same lick, just in F sharp minor. So I'm breaking down pentatonic into 3 notes per string. I'm gonna go. If you can think of getting through the first 3, now here's where you're gonna see your pattern. Okay, so instead of starting with the middle note, which I do often on legato, I start with the low note. Now I move it to these. And I stop there. So it's just really a fancy F sharp minor pentatonic run that takes you from pattern 1 here to pattern 1 up here, the octave, right? So now, and I find sometimes going slightly above the full bend adds for a little bit of feel and like tension, not just, but. So anyway, that's where I'm coming from with that. So out of that run. So a full bend on 17. Bring it back. And again, try and get the vibrato when you land to avoid the sound like the guy playing exercises, or worse yet. So we're shooting for somewhere in between, guys. Now, this involves something that I also taught with on a Guitar World lesson. It's tapping in octaves, but this is a multi-finger tapping lick. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to lead in with a little slide, as I often do with my left hand, to get things rolling. But it's almost inconsequential what's happening there, if it makes sense. Just kind of getting myself up to position by sort of plucking with my right hand. Now, once I'm going to play on 17 and 21 with my right hand, and 5 and 9 with my left hand. And honestly, it kind of becomes a feel thing for me where the index finger is hitting the rhythmic pattern more than it is like, am I getting a group of 5 or 6? Sometimes I tend to be getting, and that's it. So I'm starting with the index, my ring finger is getting 21. When you pull off with multi-finger tapping, have to come up. It's never going to work coming down. So now I can do the group of 5. Every once in a while, to be honest with you, just because it's a feel thing, I'll do a group of 6 in there, where I'll finish with my left hand. So I'm coming up. So it's hard to tell for me sometimes if that note is actually landing or not. I'm listening for it, da 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 da, if that makes sense to you guys. So that second part of it there was 16, 19, and of course 4 and 7. I'm tapping an octave away. So what I do is finish it here. And I slide my left hand. I'm doing, it's 19 and 22 going over 7 and 10. So that leg. Okay, now What I do with this 3-note per string pentatonic thing here that I often teach is don't just necessarily go to adjacent strings. I can do what's called string skipping, okay? Big shred term, but here's the run. And honestly, if I had to think about it, I'm probably only setting down that note without picking it. So I'm going 14, 17, 19 on the low E, 14, 16, 19 on the D, 14, 17, 19 on the B. So, and as I said, I'm kind of cheating there. And I come right back up. I don't think that's necessarily the exact picking pattern right-hand wise, but those are the notes. Yeah, I definitely get the bend at the end. Sorry, sometimes I have to play stuff in flow, you know? It's like anybody else. There's a little bit of feel involved with this stuff, even though it's very notey. So anyway, there's the ending lick. See if I can navigate my way through this. And there you go. And then it ends with the little clean intro theme that the song began with. So I hope you get it down. And by all means, send it to me. I'll be happy to post it on my social media. I'll be like most flattered and humbled to have you guys get down some solos off of my record. That would be incredible. So have at it, guys.